Little Mermaid Live is absolutely not what I was expecting, and it is pretty fantastic. Not perfect, but really enjoyable to watch. This is on Disney Plus, although I think seeing it live in person would have been a really spectacular experience. If you did see it live, I would love to know how you found it and what it was actually like. This was released in 2019, and this is a combination of live performances and the screened film of The Little Mermaid, and it's directed by Hamish Hamilton. And viewing it, I can say it's edited very well. I can't obviously speak for what it was like in person, but the way it's been filmed for streaming online, it cuts between the live stage performances and the screened film very well. There were some moments that I'm surprised they didn't do staging for, and that they just used the film, because I think they would have looked pretty spectacular on stage. But for the most part, I thought it was pretty entertaining. Now, the reason I was drawn to this is not because I'm a fan of The Little Mermaid. I can kind of take or leave Little Mermaid. Sometimes the songs annoy me because they're so overabundant in the world. And sometimes I actually find them quite catchy and addictive, so it depends on what mood I'm in. But I was in the right mood to watch The Little Mermaid, and I hadn't actually seen the film in a very long time. So even the film side of it I thought was, enjoyable for me. But it was mostly because John Stamos is in this. He plays Chef Louis, he's barely in it, but I still really enjoyed it. So obviously most of my thoughts here are not going to be about the film of The Little Mermaid, it's going to be about the actual stage production. And I think they handled it pretty well. The casting is obviously going to kind of make it either brilliant or very bad, and I think they got the casting spot on. The girl who plays Moana is actually Ariel here, which is a little bit weird, having somebody who is iconic for one Disney character now playing on stage another very famous Disney character. It's a bit bizarre, doesn't happen that often, but this is obviously not considered canon Little Mermaid. Queen Latifah is Ursula, and I have to say she's brilliant. I do have a soft spot for Ursula, and I loved Ursula's entrance. I won't say any more than that, but Ursula's entrance I thought was absolutely brilliant. Shaggy is Sebastian, and he has a lot of energy. He's got a lot of energy. A brilliant performance. John Stamos, as I said. I will say I was very disappointed in Flounder. I thought the way they did Flounder felt like a bit of a cop out, to be honest. And the design of the fish was terrible. The actual design of Flounder himself was just appalling. On the flip side, I thought the dancers, the backing dancers, were incredible. They are wearing some really elaborate, awkward costumes that look amazing, but definitely would not have been easy to dance in. I think the choreography for this was spectacular. Ariel's choreography, not so much, but in her defense, her legs are strapped inside a fishtail. And there's a beautiful moment involving a high wire, and I won't say any more than that, but it must have been a beautiful experience to be there. The way some of her scenes were filmed is not that great. It doesn't really transpose well onto streaming or watching it digitally, but it definitely would have looked better, I think, in the flesh. Also, I loved the audience's involvement. The opening number on the ship, one of my favourites, and the audience involved in being the waves, I thought was a beautiful idea. Vocally, obviously, the songs in this are beautifully sung. There's nothing about it that didn't work, except Flounder. I'm very disappointed in how they decided to do Flounder, considering Flounder for me is one of the main attractions of Little Mermaid. But generally speaking, if you're a fan of Little Mermaid, I think you'll love it. Jodie Benson, the original voice of Ariel, introduces this, which is a little bit special, and the choreography and the costumes are incredible. The staging is brilliant. It's very high energy when it needs to be, and generally speaking, I really enjoyed it.